friends, I'm back, and I heard that Deacon Kevin came and read chapter 3 and 4, and now we're on chapter 5 and the last chapter of Margaret's First Holy Week, from written by John M. Sweeney, illustrated by Roy De Leon. So let's see what happens. So you've heard about Holy Thursday and Good Friday. Let's see what happens now. The following morning was Holy Saturday, a very quiet day in the Vatican. But that evening was the Easter Vigil in St. Peter's Basilica, which ended at midnight, and then it was Easter Sunday. Margaret knew that Easter is the day we celebrate Jesus coming back to life. Easter means that Holy Week is over. Jesus shows us what resurrection means. That Sunday morning, bells were ringing in the Vatican and in all the churches of Rome. Margaret could hear those joyful bells, but it wasn't the bells that woke her up. She was up at dawn and ready to go. And here we have Margaret laying down with the Pope. I think he might wake her up. The Pope gave her a look of surprise when he saw her standing at his feet before he had even gotten out of bed. "Darling Margaret, my, you are up and ready for this special day, aren't you?" he said. She looked at him and smiled. "Christ is risen," the Pope said. At that moment, Father Felipe walked into the room. "Excuse me, Holy Father. I was coming in to be sure you were awake. Big day today." "Margaret already woke me up, Felipe, but thank you," the Pope said. Then he turned back to face Margaret. He whispered to her, "You know what we're going to do tonight? You know what we're going to do tonight to celebrate?" Margaret looked at him with anticipation. "We're going to ask the cooks to make us some pizza," he said. "Not just any pizza. Pizza a caballo." I don't know what that is, but we're going to find out. If you didn't grow up speaking Spanish, you might not know what that means. A caballo means on horseback, because pizza a caballo has something extra. A piece of delicious flatbread on top. It's like eating a pizza sandwich. That sounds good. Maybe we should have that, Deacon Kevin. Margaret purred and licked her lips. When the Pope was dressed, he picked up Margaret and opened the door to the apartment. There in the hallway, waiting patiently, were Father Felipe and some other members of the Curia. 2 Swiss guards were also there, waiting to escort them down the stairs and onto the balcony, where the Pope would give a special Easter greeting to a huge crowd that had gathered in St. Peter's Square. What exactly is going to happen next? Margaret wondered. She thought about this while they walked down the stairs. "Urbi et orbi," said the Pope as they headed toward the open doors and the crowd below. "You remember this, don't you, Margaret?" By now, there were a few secretaries running beside them as well. It seemed to Margaret that if there were people hurrying everywhere. The Pope picked Margaret. "Urbi et orbi, my dear. Remember? It is time for me to speak to the city and the world." "What do you think I should say?" he whispered gently in her ear. Margaret thought. She pondered all that she had experienced during her first Holy Week. Then she thought about Easter. She wanted to keep on thinking, but suddenly the Pope set her down on the balcony beside him. Margaret could see thousands of people in the square below. She watched as the Pope approached the microphone that was there. Then she heard the crowd begin to cheer. So we have the Pope and Margaret on the balcony, and they're both waving. Here we have the Pope and Margaret and Father Felipe and the cooks eating pizza a caballo. And here's Margaret, and it says, Alleluia, the end. So wow, that was the end of the book. What did you think? Did you like it? Well, I hope you did. Diva, Panda, Deacon Kevin, and I sure enjoyed this book. So you have a great Holy Week, and we will see you at Easter. Okay, be safe and take care. Bye.